This meeting is being recorded. Hi everyone, welcome again. Hope everyone is having a good time. Uh, well, we are back, and today we wanted to discuss if Bitcoin will really survive, or how is Bitcoin going to navigate the future. So, without any further ado, I'd like to say please share, subscribe, and like the video. And also, you can engage us in the comments, critique, also tell us something nice. We appreciate all comments. And without further ado, I'll take it to Joe.
So, hey guys, so today we're going to talk about will Bitcoin really survive? So I'm going to give a little bit of history about Bitcoin. It was started by an anonymous group of, right now we believe it's people who had PhDs because they released a paper describing how they could create a currency that runs on computers. And this currency was supposed not to be owned by any organization, and it was not to be controlled by any organization. And with that, they came up with a technology called blockchain that was a way of storing transactions. So people who mined, so they had a system of awarding Bitcoin to people who mined Bitcoin. That is, mining basically means whereby you're given a hard problem to solve, and this problem requires some kind of computer to crack a problem and give a solution. And when that solution is cracked, a Bitcoin, a blockchain, ledger is created. And so with that sort of system, it had like a show of this Bitcoin has been created, and that system cannot be hacked. So the blockchain was decentralized, meaning that anyone could go and mine Bitcoin and make Bitcoin. And so you see, Bitcoin's application is meant to be a currency, and it's meant to be also a way of storing transactions in a way that they can be referred to even in 100 years, whereby that transaction will always be recorded. So I think currently there are 18 million Bitcoins in circulation, and that makes it valuable because there are more people mining Bitcoin, and the more people who mine Bitcoin, the less and less the mining returns. Because if when Bitcoin was released, if you made one Bitcoin every day, now you can make maybe a small percentage of Bitcoin every day. So it created a frenzy of other people coming up with their own cryptocurrencies, and it is now even created a whole what is it called, a whole crypto coin market, whereby people are coming up with cryptocurrencies of their own. And initial it's called an initial coin offer. So many of these coins are coming up. People are trying to be like Bitcoin. And the other one that came out is Ethereum. Ethereum was also done by these people have PhDs, they have studied computer science. And I think the reason why, I read an article, the reason why Bitcoin isn't being used on the everyday transaction, like the reason why right now you can't buy milk with Bitcoin or buy bread with Bitcoin, it's because it's so expensive to transact. The transaction fees and the fees, all those things, converting Bitcoin to cash, it's very difficult. So Bitcoin, I think the people who do Bitcoin, I don't know how it works, but I think it's they just pay those fees and they're able to convert cash into Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is used heavily in the black market. If you're that kind of guy who knows how to access the dark web, you can, when you look at those if you're doing it as an exercise, you can see that sometimes people in the dark web use Bitcoin on their websites because it's untraceable. You can't tell who has paid who, and there's no restriction as to who can use Bitcoin across the world, because all you need is a wallet. And maybe this wallets, in the dark web, it's a very different story from the 1% like Google and DuckDuckGo. Dark web is like, it's like how we have discovered 5% of the ocean. Now dark web is 99%, the 95% of the ocean. Dark web is so vast that I think that's where, we might not know it, but probably dark web is what is fueling the value of Bitcoin, because dark web is its own economy. But I think Bitcoin, to be used as a daily currency, I think people have to, even governments.
There's too much opposition from government, banks.
Bitcoin, one Bitcoin is, around $20,000. You can imagine if Bitcoin was now the global currency, to defeat all the currencies in the world. And recently, Facebook CEO Meta, right now Meta, it's called Meta. Mark Zuckerberg was taken to court, I think, was it around before COVID or around that time? He wanted to do his own cryptocurrency within Facebook, to be used within Facebook, called Libra. And the reason why he was taken to court and opposed, it's because Mark Zuckerberg controls Facebook. Let me say Facebook. Facebook as a website controls more than, right now, I think it's around 50% of the global population of the world, because that 50% is on Facebook only. It's not distributed as 50% around the internet. It's just 50% of the world's population is on Facebook. If you released Libra, the cryptocurrency is called Libra. If you released Libra to be to the Facebook audience, and it reached only 100 million users to use Libra to transact, to buy and sell within Facebook, he would be more powerful than the American government, because ultimately Libra would implement the same concept of having a limited number of coins, and the coin would be so strong. And if I can send money across Facebook and do all those things, I think the government is threatened, because US currency is going down. And that's why people like Warren Buffett don't like cryptocurrency, because I think, for me, they don't understand it. It has potential, but it also carries a threat to the governments.
I think the threat is the more that scaring them rather than the potential. Because if you're talking and saying most of it is being used in black market, and also you're also saying that it's giving companies like Facebook ideas of how to form their own kind of government, like another form of power, that sends a lot of shivers in guys who have been used to, the government running everything. It's literally like it makes the governments become helpless. That's why you can see, you can understand that's why a government like China, that doesn't want any opposition from anywhere, immediately bans cryptocurrency, because to them it's like another way of, it's like another power base that's being formed. But I feel like eventually, when currencies start becoming useless, people will be forced to start thinking of adopting a more stable currency, because I feel like even where you're going, currencies are now not becoming that stable anymore. They are losing value, and the fact that currencies now are pegged on faith, not on gold, like the old days. They are. It's just like a paper pegged on faith. That is also too risky, because you're saying like Bitcoin is 18 million Bitcoin, so it means the value of Bitcoin is very high, and it means if all those Bitcoins, the fact that they're 18 million, if they are mined all of them end, and that's how gold was, and that's how money was valued years back. It was valued based on the gold reserve that a country had. So that's why you found that if you had money, if a country had 1 billion, let's say dollars, the 1 billion was valued based on the gold that you have. But these days so I think Bitcoin is just a reaction to how the financial system has been manipulated and becoming very weak over and over. So people just said, let's open an artificial gold mine where people, but they're only limited gold. So that's why the value of Bitcoin is high. And also this now puts a question, where does the real gold or the real minerals that we have, like let's say gold, that are valued like money, where does it put them? Because if Bitcoin is only exactly 18 million and we have gold over here which can be mined almost anywhere, then it's like we are going to a future where minerals won't matter that much. It's only virtual. We'll be having now virtual minerals.
Yeah, it will depend on, like now they're coming up with quantum computers that you know how there's 4G and then there's 5G. They're saying 4G is 100 Mbps, but 5G will come to maybe 1 gigabit or 10 gigabit per second speeds. So these supercomputers called quantum computers, they're the same. They can, if a normal computer, which is a I don't know, binary computer, ones and zero, a quantum computer can break a password that can take, maybe thousands of normal computers 10,000 years to crack a password, but a quantum computer can crack it in like 2 minutes or a couple of seconds. And if you look at now, this coming, the rise of technology, it's going to make physical assets not worth having. It's going to make virtual assets worth having, because the virtual asset can reach, it's available in anywhere in the world, and you can get resources from the internet and use them where you are.
And
you can
sorry.
you can the amount of sharing that's happening in the world, it's what's making something like Bitcoin, because of internet, Bitcoin is worth because people can access it. So if you look at the gold in Uganda, they're saying it might make gold, the value of gold, go down, because that's $12 trillion worth of gold
in the market.
And if you look at Bitcoin, and that will be shared to specific people. But if you look at Bitcoin, if you have, and other cryptocurrencies, you can access it from anywhere. And I think that's why technology in itself, that the heavy advancement going forward, it's making technological inventions more valuable than, physical, like things like materials or
it's like we are
things like
it's like we're in that stage where there's a new transition, when humans started transitioning from let's say from non-mechanical to mechanical kind of system, where like from using boats that weren't boats were made of wood, carts now to engine and steam. Because if you look at gold like Uganda, they say the gold in Uganda, they said they've discovered it's worth $12 trillion. So that's $12 trillion worth of gold into the market. So if you're saying that kind of gold devalues gold because now there's more gold, the reason why probably let's say a kilo of gold was $60,000 a kilo of 20 or 40 is because it was a certain number of gold. But now you've added 12 trillion, so the value will go down. And we're just talking about Uganda, and gold as a mineral, it means it's gonna be kept being undiscovered. So more gold is going to be coming into the market. But Bitcoin is strictly 18 million Bitcoins, regardless of what
and the thing that makes Bitcoin more valuable than just mining it, it's mining is creating a transaction, but also the use. If you go to there's this website called Coinbase, it's a list of cryptocurrencies that are on the financial market in the crypto world. You find that most of these cryptocurrencies, they like the market cap, you find that there's a person who's saying you can buy, when cryptocurrency starts, it's usually 0.00 something dollars. And this person was saying, you look at the market cap of cryptocurrency, if it's 1 trillion, then that's not a good cryptocurrency. But if the market cap is like $1 million or $500,000, that's a good cryptocurrency, because if the market cap doubles to $1 million, if it's $500,000, or $2 million if it's $1 million, or let's say you bought a cryptocurrency, you bought 1,000 coins at like 0.00 something dollars, and then it multiplies to a factor of, not even a factor, it multiplies 10 times. That cryptocurrency's value multiplies 10 times. So you find that even in the crypto world, people might start using certain coins to buy certain things. You know, they might be a coin to buy a book, they might be a coin to buy, you know, chairs, tables. Because if you look at the metaverse, that's where it's heading. You know, people will be given the opportunity to sell and buy within a virtual universe. And I think that virtual universe will now be tied down to the actual universe. Those are the things that it's hard to predict what will happen, because it's all about how convenient it makes people's life to be. Because if you look at right now, something like gold, it's hard to get your hands on gold. But if you look at a cryptocurrency, you have to just know how to exchange, you know, services and products for cryptocurrency. And I think if you think about it, the future of cryptocurrency, I think it's still, you know, it's still early. Crypto, something like Bitcoin is less than 15 years old, and we've seen companies like Facebook and Google being online, and companies like Apple creating products that allow people to use apps and record content. It's making you know, it's making something like cryptocurrency something that people really want. You know, you know, even us, even me, I don't understand much about cryptocurrency, but it's something that shows you how well done technology, you know, technology that is done properly. If you look at Google never fails, Facebook never fails, Twitter never fails, you know, and that takes some kind of knowledge of computers to understand how to make something not fail. So if you look at cryptocurrency, when it's done well, it's not failing. And even if there'll be like a solar flare and cause a EMP in the world, still that is stored, and people will come back, you know, to using the cryptocurrency. And the paper currency, and if you look at paper currency, even in Kenya, we're using M-Pesa a lot. M-Pesa is $1 billion, you know, gold mine, because it's a digital way of transacting. So the future of money is digital transactions. And crypto is the heart, it's the heart and the lungs of digital transactions, because that's how people want to transact. You hear now of Web3, Web4, Web5, whereby everything is about the blockchain. And in the future, you find that these Facebook accounts and everything, because of quantum computers and things like that, hacking accounts, because of quantum computers, people can build quantum computers in their homes in countries like America, where they have resources. And if people start building quantum computers, you know, in like around 10 years ago, Google was the only company that could buy a quantum computer because it was so expensive. If people start building, you know, we're entering an era where knowledge is so vast. Even I can build my own microcontrollers, microchips, if I have the knowledge. Then gaining that knowledge, people are giving out 10 years of knowledge in 30 hours, you know. And when people start learning how to build the same technology Apple or Google or, you know, Tesla is building, there'll be like we need now a united place where no one can steal from one another, you know. I want to be able to hack you, be able to hack me, because the transaction of a cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, for example, you cannot hack it. And that is something that can, you know, even had that story of this man who went to such a dump site for flash disks that had the key to his wallet for cryptocurrency. And that crypto was worth 200 and something million dollars, you know. And that's the kind of, you know, when technology becomes available to everyone in their home, and I can build anything, people will need some kind of unhackable, trustworthy, you know, way of exchange. And I think cryptocurrency is the leader. But if you look at right now, we are still in the early stages of things like having a universal currency, because it will reach a point where someone can hack you anytime, can hack into your bank account, steal your credentials and all that. That's still happening even now. And you see, if someone needed to hack your wallet, they'll need some kind of, you know, password or key, and that's really difficult to get. That's why you see Bitcoin is worth $20,000. One unit of Bitcoin is worth $20,000 because it's so hard to hack it. It's easier to hack someone's bank than to hack someone's than to hack Bitcoin, the blockchain. Yeah.
And you know, one thing I find it interesting, and you remember the time we were talking of how the world is switching. You know, 200 years ago, you know, land was the most valuable asset. You know, kingdoms and people were investing so much in land and let's say real estate. I'm not saying it's not valuable anymore, but
it's still valuable,
but it's interesting. It's being overtaken by digital asset, because for you to own 200 million worth of land or houses, you know, probably it's a big apartment. If it's an apartment, then it's probably New York.
More physical.
You know, a condo in New York, in somewhere that, you know, expensive. It's not that it's a big land, but when it comes to digital asset, it's only a hard disk.
Like when
something as small as a hard disk.
Assets, you just need.
It has assets worth $200 million.
Yeah, and you know, right now, for you to be like, for example, okay, let's not talk about data centers, which are vast. Let's talk about someone starting a blog. Let's say you are a blog owner and you're running ads on your blog. You just need maximum a computer that will cost you not less than $20-$25 to run a blog that can give you, you know, the same money that if you were to build a small house. You know, a small house, you need land, you need all these things. The same, and that is something that is the size of a laptop. The size of a laptop can give you enough money. Let's put it into equation. It can give you around $500 a month, the size of a laptop. You can imagine someone who has 2,000 laptops that are running, you know, let's say Facebook is running on, you know, 300,000 laptops. It's giving him, you know, $1 trillion valuation of his company. You know, someone to own $1 trillion worth of assets, we saw it was banks, and those banks were hundreds. Some of them were hundreds of years. Some of them were, you know, in China, where China is a big country. But for someone to, you know, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't own $1 trillion worth of land. You know, he's bought a small piece of land somewhere and put his servers, and he's running the whole online community of Facebook, which has 5 billion people probably.
5 billion people
or 2 billion people active every month. You know, that means people come back, and he doesn't need to own, because you know, he doesn't need to start a bank. He doesn't need to do all these things that banks and, you know, governments do to own 4 trillion worth of assets. Mark Zuckerberg, if you combine, you know, what Apple has, what Microsoft has, Tesla, they have the worth of that gold in Uganda. And Uganda, you know, they haven't worked or built any technology to have. That's just, you know, luck. You know, luck is like saying
they found themselves there, and they found gold there.
Yeah, they found themselves, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you see that's what you're talking about. If the value of building technologies is so valuable that if you have the knowledge to build technology, you're just as valuable as a person. You don't need gold. You don't need to have assets. You just need to have the knowledge, because even if the world crashes and the systems crashes, the ones who have the knowledge of
and technology. And then I remember us, and I also remember us having this talk of the superpower countries of the future won't be superpowers because of mineral. Now we are entering an era where for a country to be a superpower, it has to have the most advanced technology. It's a technology.
The most. Yeah.
So if even if
you not just have it, apply it
and apply it, and because you see, like in a country like Uganda, if it's fine, it has gold 12 trillion, and you know, and let's say a country like America, you know, it's the one that has the technology. What happens is that America will keep on perfecting with technology, but the most Uganda can do with that gold is mine it and sell it. You know, it can't go beyond.
Mine it and sell it.
Yeah, it can't go beyond that. And because also Uganda doesn't have the technology, so it will need guys who have technology to come and mine it and process it. Yeah,
because that gold is worthless if there's no technology to
mine
process it to become.
Yeah, so even that's why
and that's
just to finish, just to finish, like that's why I'm very worried about. You know, even when African countries are like, yo, we have found gold, we have because now, you know, there's a risk that we are getting in this game a bit too late, you know, this mineral game.
We're getting in when the game is ending. When the game, you know, it's like you finish, you know, like the 200 contestants in a marathon. Number one finished way before, you know, the celebration was over, the TV cameras were there, they recorded the winner, and then you, after everyone has celebrated and gone, that's when you're finishing the race. That's where we are. And if you look at us, we are still, you know, we are still being lazy about investing in technology. You know, people are still, you know, we are still arguing over how much maize flour should cost, you know, and that's something that is not that valuable if you think about it. Yeah, maize flour you need to live, but in terms of global dominance and economic dominance, maize flour will not take you to superpower.
And also another thing, just to add up on your point, you know, even the guys who have always relied on minerals, you know, you remember like when we were seeing a country like Dubai, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, they're even now shifting to full AI systems, full technology system. You remember, we even the time we were even going through the portfolio of Minister of Artificial Intelligence in Dubai, you know, they literally have a Ministry of Artificial Intelligence. So it shows you even the guys who forever have relied on minerals have come to realization the real mineral is technology. You know?
And I had a family member who lives in the States was telling me in America, if you want to work, you're going to work. In America, he's telling me you can't. If you want to work, there's no such thing as being unemployed in the sense that you can't get a job. You know, you hear about people struggling in homelessness and all that. It's because people get into situations that are difficult. Because they really explained to me, in America, yes, there's challenges and all that, but there's so much opportunity because these guys apply and invest in, you know, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. They applied so much that their system, you cannot miss to get a job, even $7 an hour.
And if you also,
like you can't steal that money in your pocket.
Even if you look at an America as a continent, it's vast with so many minerals. You remember we were seeing America is number 2 after Russia, the country with the most minerals. I think it's like 50 trillion.
And it's in the trillions of, you know, we were saying it's Russia have probably 75 trillion.
And then America 50 or 45.
America 50 trillion. And now Uganda, you know, those are the things they discovered when they were mining.
And when you hear a country like America, do you associate it with minerals? No. You associate it with technology. So
Google.
It comes to show you even how their mindset is. Even them, they know the real mineral is technology. Because America also imports oil and gas and all, and it has the same minerals on the ground.
And if you think about it, even something as you know, you might think a movie is basic, but even a movie, you know, they've reached that point where they can invest, you know, to shoot a video. You know, a movie is a video, let's put it like that. But this video, they've invested so much money and so much resources that video in itself can generate even $1 billion, and that's done through technology. Because if you look at the technology of movies has advanced since Charlie Chaplin times. You know, Charlie Chaplin also used to use camera tricks and everything. But the fact that these guys invented a camera, they kept on building on that technology, Now we have 3D, we have, you know, we have CGI, we have, you know, all kinds of things because of technology. And you see that Bitcoin is a technology as much as it is a currency. It's a piece of technology. And where we're heading, like you said, it's where who knows how to make this technology, who can make 6G. You know, we haven't even started in 2G
and then you can also see, since you're even saying internet to 5G, you can see how the superpower rivalry was unfolding like 2 years ago between America and
Trump
China.
Was in power.
Hey, these guys have made 5Gs before us. Now it wasn't a mineral base.
And if you see, you know, in America, it's about, you know, I was being told by my, you know, by my cousins, Americans invest a lot in research. They can give you, for example, there's a company that had, you know, a very crude form of technology. You know, it was a computer for the headset. It was like a headset computer, but it was very big. It was literally a piece of glass that you can look into, but the things that were powering the glass were very large. So the fact that they started and proved that they can do a virtual headset from that stage, you know, they were given $1 billion. It was called Magic Leap. They were given $1 billion. And then after 5 or so years or something, they created a small headset for the eyes that could now display holograms in the room. And they started with a very large, piece of technology. Here in Kenya, when we see someone with a large piece of technology that wants to make it smaller, we start laughing at them, you know. We are not
and because of the lottery mindset, you want, what that means. And because of also the lottery mindset, you want the thing to be by tomorrow. It's a small one. When he tells you it might take 3 to 4 years, you are a bit hesitant to fund the project. You want him to achieve.
You want it now.
Yeah.
And I think specifically Americans, Chinese, and Europeans understand the value of investing in technology. You know, they know the value. It's not about, for them, I don't think it's about just money. It's about having a stand in, you know, you look at they have a mindset of glory, of, you know, etched into the books of history that it was us who did it first. You know, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson. It wasn't about going to space and, you know, making money. It was about, I am a private, you know, investor in space, and I went to space and succeeded.
And you can see it when COVID came, you know, the first country to announce it had a vaccine was Russia. So you can see the kind of mindset, you know,
it's a competition.
Russia announced, even Putin, we gave him an injection yesterday, then everyone now formed a vaccine. And then you saw when now China said, you know, we are the first people to come with 5G, immediately Verizon, AT&T, all these American companies started
also said we're also working. And if you look at it, us as Africans, you're just onlookers, you know. Onlookers. Just look, we are just waiting. You know?
It's like those guys when who are watching Formula One in those, you know, on the stand.
We are behind the TV watching Formula. We're watching people race and win, but us, we're just
and then we celebrate the winners. You know, that's even the funny part. We even celebrate the winners.
That's a funny thing.
You know, you are watching for China, I'm watching for America, someone is watching for Russia.
Even as a culture, I think we're jealous of one another, whereby when someone is smarter than you in a certain area, you don't want to tell or to invest or to show that, you know, I appreciate your intelligence here, you know. And people who have money in Kenya, you know, even if they have money, they don't do anything. That's what we're saying. Even people who steal money in Kenya, because they take it back to the people who invent technology.
Because that's why I'm also worried about the Ugandan gold thing, because as you all know, South Africa has also the same value. You know, I think gold in South Africa is also almost even more value than the Ugandan gold. And you can see South Africa till today, it has never amounted to. So you know.
So I think Bitcoin for me, it's not even here to stay. It's here to take over.
And it's time people started accepting the reality.
The reality, because even as an individual, you can't just sit and say, my value is how much money I have. That's not your value. Because someone said money is debt. Money is being in debt. You're indebted to that money. But if you have technology, if you have know-how, you can do anything, and you can invent things that are beyond, you know, money and you know, even houses and all those things. But I think that's a good. It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to always have a change in the way the economy works.
And it also shows that nothing reigns forever. At one point, something will come and take over.
And it comes like Zoom came. Zoom came and took over Skype, you know, and those are two technologies competing against it. So us as Africans, if you think that having, you know, our land is precious, it will reach a point where even land, it's not all that.
Technology is the one that's gonna go. And what happens when people now start mining asteroids and moon rocks? You know, it makes even
mine asteroids and have even a better, you know, asteroids is pure gold, you know, pure golden rock. And it will come, and even your whole land, it's just worth farming, you know. Even farming will become done in a smaller space, and
it will be so controlled genetically, because even farming is very technology based.
Yeah, everything that we see is technology based.
Mm.
What we eat, what we see, what we wear, you know, what you're using right now to communicate. And us as Africans, you're just there, you know, waiting.
Yeah.
We're not giving money where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
We're stealing money from each other. And then that money, like you said, you're taking it back to where the technology came from.
Yeah.
And that money is coming
You
from
take
outside,
it,
you're taking it back.
you loot it and take it to London. You hide it in London
Yeah, you look at take it to London, yeah.
or Jersey, Jersey, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you think about, if you're an individual in Africa and you're hoping that if you're not in technology and I don't think you'll if you're not somehow involved in a technology company, even in Africa, I don't think. And if you think about even right now, even agriculture is moving in technology. You see, like Twiga Foods, they have moved heavily into using technology for agriculture. So if you're not someone involved in technology in Africa, the old ways won't work. If you're still looking for jobs with, the old ways, the old kind of jobs, if it's not technology, if you're still using a book to write your, to rate how much you're spending and how much you're investing, you're still behind. Yeah, you have a long way to go.
Okay, I think I don't know. We should
call it.
Yeah, we should leave it from there. It was a very interesting topic of about Bitcoin and technology.
Very interesting discussion.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll talk. We'll make another one in the near future. Guys, please subscribe, share, like, engage us and tell us, how you feel and what you want to hear us talk about. Probably till the next video. Cheers, guys.
Till the next video. Thank you, guys.